Hey everybody, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Happy Friday the 13th. Uh it's your boy Aaron coming at you live, bro, with another episode of Arispe on America. Lots to talk about today, man. Lots to get into. There's partial shutdown on the way. DHS funding might not get passed. The EPA just overturned one of the most important regulations of the entire, I would say, century, and could really affect how corporations and vehicles and everything and how we regulate emissions goes through going forward. Sorry, this stuff is distracting the shit out of me. And then, of course, man, we got to talk about Pam Bondi and her hearing, man, because I mean, dude, that shit was insane. I mean, everybody is getting clips of it and just is uh, blown away with the fact that she's out here literally just defending pedophiles, literally covering up and redacting the entirety of the Epstein files to protect elites. To me, come on, dude. You run the department. You run the DOJ, man. You're supposed to be the person who's fighting for what's right. You're supposed to be transparent, like you claimed that you were going to be. She claims that this is the party of transparency, but is it really? Because to me, it feels like every day they're hiding more and they're lying more. We can never get the truth from these people. And then when they're trying to hold people in the administration accountable, they throw little temper tantrums like fucking Pam Bondi did. That was nothing short of a temper tantrum, right? No 60-year-old woman should be reacting the way that she reacted, especially somebody who holds such a high position in our administration. But that being said, man, let's go ahead and move into it. I got a couple of videos that I guess we could watch, man, just to get everybody familiar with the topic who hasn't been watching or keeping themselves updated. I pulled up a video. We're not going to watch the whole hearing. I don't have a lot of time today, unfortunately. It's me and my wife's anniversary today. We've been together 12 years. Shout out to my girl. Love you, baby. Um, and yeah, so let's move into this, man. I got a little video. Let's just kind of, I think this should be about the highlights of, we shouldn't even be calling it highlights, but the highlights of the entire hearing. So, with that being said, man, let's go ahead and just get into it. Right.
I came into office with the goal of refocusing the Department of Justice on its core mission after years of bloated bureaucracy and political weaponization. The Department of Justice's core mission is to fight violent crime, protect the American people, and defend the rule of law above all else.
Already off the rip, bro, this reptilian is lying to us straight to our faces. Because as you'll see later on in this video, she says that she and the DOJ, their entire goal is to protect the American people, right? The Epstein victims, the survivors, right, who suffered at the hands of disgusting and vile men, right, are also American citizens, and she would not even look at them. She wouldn't even acknowledge them as the representative of the entire DOJ and justice system of America. You should at least turn around and if you don't, even if you don't mean it, act like you fucking care, right? And say, on behalf of the United States government and this entire administration, we are incredibly sorry for what you endured. And we will fight for you and bring those who harmed you to justice. That's it. Just say that, dude. It's good publicity. Instead, you chose to go do what you're about to go do.
To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law. We've released more than 3 million pages, including 180,000 images, all to the public, while doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims. And if you brought us a victim's name that was inadvertently released, we immediately redacted it. All members of Congress, as you know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today. I'm a career prosecutor, and despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so.
They released all this information, right? But they redacted the names of men who hold elite status and prestige in this world. But they did not redact the names of survivors whose names have been anonymous for decades, for years, for the entirety of this investigation. You chose to redact evil, disgusting pedophiles, their names, and protect them. But you did not protect these women. You exposed them. You put pictures of them online for everybody to see. You blacked out every single name that was associated to the greater scheme that is American capitalism, right? Anybody who is tied to the money. But all these other people, you didn't give a fuck about them, man. This fucking bitch.
Deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster.
Fuck you.
To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Look, this is the part I'm talking about. Literally, she just said, I acknowledge the survivors. This to the survivors. To the survivors, we're sorry, blah, 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 right? But watch what this fucking bitch does.
And if you are willing,
or does not do,
please
in matter
raise
of
your
fact.
hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice. Please know for the record that...
By the way, she's being held right now, like, account. Like, the reason why she's at this whole hearing is because of the fact that she redacted so much of the Epstein files. Because it was borderline unconstitutional, right? It's like, who the fuck are you protecting at this point? Yeah, you gave us the files, right? You dropped 3 million fucking documents on us all at one day, but you blacked out fucking like 50% of it, maybe 75. I don't know the fucking numbers, but you got rid of a lot of information, especially key and relevant information. Who are you protecting? Who are you fighting for, man?
Every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi.
Sorry, guys. I'm looking
You
at what my dog's doing.
apologize to the survivors
Okay,
in your
he's got
opening
his story.
statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
I used to say, if I hear AI one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But Monday.com is super easy to use and knows how to do AI right. My team quit going through endless documents ourselves. Monday Sidekick handles that now, pulling the crucial info and then prioritizing based on whatever we need. So stuff that takes my team hours is now done before they even open their laptop. I use it for insights and action suggestions constantly, especially on those back-to-back meeting days. All these AI features are built directly into Monday.com and actually use our real data. With Monday.com, AI isn't some over-promising future. It's here. It just works. Like, actually saves us time and resources kind of work.
Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use. Start a free trial today at Monday.com.
Hey, chill. Chill, sorry. Sorry, my dog's tripping. Hey, come here. It's alright. Hey, I know you gotta protect the world, bro. I get it.
EVE Online
Man, if I'm gonna be
is
doing
a vast universe.
YouTube Pro. Dude, you're like barking into the microphone.
Congresswoman,
Horrible.
you sat before, Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice
Attorney General
Guys,
Bondi.
no, can I
gonna
finish my
reclaim-
answer?
No, I'm
Dude.
going to reclaim my time because I asked you a
Attorney General,
specific
yes,
question
Sasuke.
Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to answer,
Dude.
which is, will you turn to the
such a
survivors? This is
barker.
not
Come
about
here.
anybody that came before
here.
you. It is
Oh,
about
he's
you
moving the mic.
taking
All right,
responsibility
chill out.
for your
We're gonna
Department
lose
of
followers 'cause of
Justice
you.
and the harm
We're gonna
that
lose
it has
people.
done
Yeah,
to
yeah, I
the survivors
know.
who are standing right behind you and
I
are
love you too.
waiting for you
I
to
love you,
turn to
Bubba.
them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's not
respond.
accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she
It
doesn't
is
like the
my
answer.
time.
So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't
a
she ask
question.
Merrick Garland this?
I am
twice
reclaiming
when he
my
sat in my
time, and when
chair?
I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the
my
gentlelady has
time.
reclaimed
I'm
her
not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you.
Anything that
You're
this
not
bitch
gonna
doesn't agree
answer
with
this
is just
question, so let me
theatrics,
just
right?
say
Chairman, I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Mr.
question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness
I'm
is
not going to get
interrupting.
in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing
and
theatrics.
let me have my time.
The gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only
Regular
to
order.
then say that there was no list. Your deputy,
time-
Todd
the time of
Blanche,
the-
met alone
time of the
with
gentlelady
Elaine
has-
Maxwell
the time of the
and
gentlelady has
transferred
expired.
her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue
the
the
time of the
cover-up.
gentlelady
And I
has
wish
expired.
that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level
Chairman,
apologize
The chair now
to them
recognizes the chair.
on what you have
Unprofessional.
done.
The time of the
I
gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatrics.
We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue in the last election, the presidential election, was securing the border. The gentleman from Arizona who knows something about security.
And by the way, everybody, the guy that's talking, the guy, his name's Jim Jordan, the fucking chairman, who's like overseeing this entire hearing. Back like in the 90s, he was like the assistant coach at Ohio State University, and I believe the head coach at the time had committed sexual assault on over, I think, 150 boys. And a lot of those victims came out later and said that Jim Jordan knew what was going on and never did anything about it. And he's actually was supposed to be in, I think, a civil lawsuit was filed recently where he had to go and testify and everything because of the fact that he knew what was going on, but he claims that he didn't. So, like, do you really expect this guy to, like, like to fight for sexual assault victims, people who were affected by things like rape or sexual assault? Hell no, dude. This dude ain't gonna help nobody. He ain't advocating for shit, bro. He didn't speak up whenever he had the opportunity to back in the day. And that was with men. You think he's gonna speak up for women? Fuck out of here.
The border is up for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question
How-
the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're gonna answer
theatrics
The way that this lady is snapping back, bro, it's like she's just already on the defense. Like, why are you so defensive? Why are you ready to attack any Democratic representative who asks you a question and then just claim that it's theatrics? Because what you're doing right here, this yelling, this screaming, this level of unprofessionalism for a lawyer, right? It is theatrical in itself. Like, this is theatrics. It's getting clickbaited left and right, bro. All over TikTok, Instagram, X. It's everywhere, dude. Because of the way that you reacted. Because of the way that you handled the situation. You should have handled it with grace. You should have handled it with a little bit more level of professionalism. The way that you delivered your responses was just not what I would have expected from somebody who holds such a high position in this administration. It just, God, how are you the attorney general and you act this way? This is the worst attorney general that we've had in history, dude. We need to arrest this woman for what she did with the Epstein files, for your redactions. Her and Kash Patel. They all need to go. This shit, anybody in this administration, Kristi Noem, Trump, Vance, Bondi, fucking Caroline Levitt, throw her in the mix too. All of these people, bro, they all need to go to prison because what they're doing is unconstitutional. It's treasonous. These people are literally writing the rules. These people are literally going against against the Constitution every day. They don't even care about the Constitution. They're not even giving a fuck about the checks and balances. They don't give a shit whether or not a judge orders them to do this or go do that. They're going to say, well, fuck the judiciary system if they're not going to, you know, play ball. So much so that they literally loaded the die, right? They got like, they have loaded bases, bro. Every single section of our government, every single branch is filled to the T with Republican representation, which is why these midterms, guys, these midterms this year, they're scared. They are fearful that if it flips to the Democrats, that it will lead to impeachment. It'll lead to the entire dismantlement of the system that they're trying to create here, right? Because they really are trying to create something that's never existed before as far as for America. I mean, especially when you got Marco Rubio saying that the old world is dead, welcome to the new world, you know what I'm saying? And a lot's changing right before our eyes. This is literally what he said yesterday. You know, so when people are saying shit like that, that hold, you know, high positions, that are high up there within the executive branch, you know, you don't take that shit with just a grain of salt, bro.
Question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
The time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
My time.
I think it's very interesting.
And you can
when
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they indicted, the president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time belongs.
Bro, this is crazy, man. Like the amount of like people talking over one another. This is not how we should be conducting ourselves as a democratic society. The way that these people are going at it with one another, they can't just get it together. I mean, and it's partially, like I said, because this administration doesn't know how to be held accountable for their actions. They'll never allow themselves to be held accountable. They're going to constantly deflect. This is what they do. They just yell and scream and deflect. That's all they ever do, man. I'm so tired of it.
Gentleman from New York, we will give
up,
you a few
homie?
more seconds. We will do that. But
What's
when
up,
you
baby?
ask a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds
I
to
am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr.
ask-
Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, oh, I
anything,
did tell you because we
washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer. Not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Time and I should get back at
Insults,
45
insults,
We'll
and
give you a few
contempt.
more seconds.
Contempt, insults, insults. When people resort to insults, it's because they know they already lost the argument. She knows that she's in the wrong. She knows what she did is bad while she has a cross sitting on her fucking neck, bro. These people, I can't understand them. You literally, and these are the kind of people, right, that like will go toe to toe on the issue of abortion and claim that it's infanticide and we need to every life is precious, this and that, we need to protect the children, blah blah blah. Dude, you got a cross on your fucking neck and you redacted a bunch of files to protect elites who literally sexually assaulted children. And you want us to ignore it. You want us to stop talking about it because the S&P is up, because the Dow is up. Fuck the Dow. All right? Fuck the S&P. Fuck your poverty prevention tools, all right? Fuck you. All right? Ain't nobody benefit from the stock market unless you're a day trader. You think anybody is fucking in this room right here holding on to a 401k? Hell no. She even says later on, blah, blah, blah. the Dow is up. I hear that you're a good trader, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he makes money in the stock market because he trades. Most every single person in America has a 401k. They just hold it and never touch it until they're like 60, 55 and a half, if that. But most people work until their 60s, right? Because they want to wait till they can get their social security check. Fuck you, Pam Bondi, and fuck every single person in this administration.
I said that already.
First, he brought up the president saying they indicted me twice.
Bitch.
They sure did. They tried to impeach him twice. And you, Mr. Nadler, were one of the leads on the impeachment. I was on the other side. I lived that with you. During impeachment, you said the president conspired, sought foreign interference in the 2016 election. Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump? All of you.
They want all these representatives to apologize to President Trump for his impeachment hearing, right? But Trump doesn't even have the balls to apologize for the video of Obama and Michelle Obama as monkeys, as gorillas. He literally said in front of press that, no, I'm not going to apologize for that because somebody's running my True Social account and posted that. Bullshit. If you ever read a single like tweet or whatever the fuck they call post on whatever he does on True Social, it's obviously this man's train of thought or whatever the fuck it is written down. It's just the way that he words things. You're like, oh yeah, that's the way that Trump talks. It's totally Trump writing these messages. But in this one scenario, it was not you who posted the video. Dude, you're such a fucking liar and you're so full of shit. And you won't even apologize for something that outraged both sides. You won't even apologize for something so ridiculously offensive and racist. So openly hateful. You won't apologize for that, but this bitch is over here claiming that, oh, y'all should all be apologizing to President Trump for this and for that. Nah, man, he's corrupt. Everybody knows it. You know it. That's why you redacted the files. That's why you crossed out his name. Dude is in there 3,000 times plus. Fuck, dude. Wait till they actually cover the entirety of the files, and I promise you, they'll find his name in there more than 3,000.
Who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump. You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million, and Donald Trump...
Because you were pressured. Y'all didn't want to drop the files. I don't know if you remember, like, back in September, Trump was like, no, I don't want y'all to release the files. No, don't release the files. And then out of nowhere, he's like, release them. Yeah, let's get them out there. Because what? The public was pissed the fuck off. The White House knows that at a point in time that you still have to appease the people. There's too many of us, motherfuckers. There's 300 million of us. The fuck? You have to appease the people. And when both sides are mad, when both sides are outraged, you gotta please them. You gotta give them something. That was y'all giving us something. Y'all didn't do it because y'all were just so good-hearted, right? That y'all were such good Republicans and y'all wanted to expose the Democrats. So much so that I remember Republicans outraged that they weren't being released because they claimed that it was going to literally just dismantle the entirety of the Democratic Party, right? And their integrity. But what it did is it exposed both sides. And now they're just like, oh, well, yeah, I believe that Bill Clinton is definitely in there, but Trump, that's fake news. Trump's name's not in there, or anybody else that's inside of the fucking files. If that was true, then we wouldn't have Republican representatives literally retiring or right away, right? There are people literally quitting their jobs because they're getting exposed. Their names are in the files. And it's just whether or not you did something, whether or not you didn't, it's bad publicity if you were in the Epstein files. It just doesn't look good. There's no way that you can spin the narrative in a way that people are going to think that you were up to any good. If you are involved or remotely associated with Epstein's name, then it's just bad for business. Which is why they redacted all these names, to protect these people and protect their business, as we always do.
He is the most transparent president in the nation's history.
No, he is not.
None of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word
administration's
about
full of
Jeffrey
shit.
Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000.
Exactly what I just said. Did you hear her? And this is the kind of like rhetoric y'all need to be paying attention to. She said, "I heard you're a great trader." She didn't say that I heard you're a great investor. These people, they just skim the market when it goes up and when it goes down. They don't hold on to assets. That's not something that you should be doing unless you have enough money to buy like enough represent like a partial like percentage of the business, because that's how, you know, these corporations work, right? Ownership is divided by the amount of shares that somebody owns. If you can buy enough shares to own even like 2-3% of the company, then great. That's what Warren Buffett does. Remember, Warren Buffett said that he learned early on in his career to not buy stocks, but to buy businesses. And if anybody knows what that means, it means that he bought up enough shares to own the top percentage of ownership in the company. If you look at Berkshire Hathaway, they're up there with Vanguard and Blackstreet, and have 2 to 3% ownership of almost every single company in the S&P 500, right? So these people, they skim it. They just take profits off of the top, right? They're day traders, or they're swing traders. So y'all need to get educated in trading, right? And learn that these people, yeah, they have some long-term assets, but you need to know where to differentiate long-term assets from your short-term assets, right? The 401ks, all of that shit being up, bro. I mean, if that's all you care about is escaping poverty by the time that you're 65, then great. Then invest in your 401k. But for me, fuck that. All right. I'm not just trying to like save myself from poverty whenever I'm old. I'm trying to have a good life the entirety of my life. Fuck just having a good last 15 years. I'm diabetic. Who the fuck knows how my body's going to be at 55 and a half? I don't want to wait till I'm 55 and a half to just get access to my 401k. I'll trade my money the way that I want to trade my money. You know what I'm saying? And I'll learn how the finance system works. I'll figure out how, you know, all of these systems that these elites utilize work, instead of falling into the trap that these people try to sell us, that they try to force feed down our fucking throat. I care more about the fact that I want people to be held accountable. I want the Epstein files to turn into the Epstein fucking trials. I don't give a shit about my 401k. I don't even have a 401k at the moment, dude. Most people that are my age, we don't give a shit. We're broke anyways. We're trying to go get assets like homes, bro. And we can't even get that. And you're over here talking about the Dow is up. Oh, the S&P is up. Good for fucking you. You're fucking 60. You're a boomer. You're doing great. As I've talked time and time again on this fucking podcast, that boomers are, and late Gen Xers or early Gen Xers, right, often are doing the best in the entire country, while millennials and Gen Zers, we're not. We're getting fucked. So fuck you, Pam Bondi, and fuck the Dow, bro. I want these people held accountable like the rest of the country. We want these people held accountable. We want to see some accountability. We want to see some justice. And we already know that your department's not going to fucking deliver. That's what's irritating, is we want the DOJ to deliver, yet y'all are hiding shit. The Department of Justice is hiding stuff. It's ridiculous, man. Who the fuck are we supposed to trust or to hold people accountable if the Department of Justice, you know, can't even do it?
Right now,
man, I'm sorry, man. That shit pisses me off.
7,000 and the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Yeah, what the
Mr.
fuck does
Jordan,
the Dow have
Mr.
to do
Jordan,
with anything? Exactly. What does she
Mr.
mean?
Jordan,
Like, what are you kidding? Like, what the fuck are you trying to do? You're tying economics to a pedophile trial, to the fact that you redacted thousands of names and photos, man. What are you trying to even correlate here? There's no correlation to your argument or your defense. You know, she's pulling some lawyer fucking bullshit here, man. She really is.
Can I get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000 for the first time. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year.
So I'd like to ask a straightforward question that really is either a yes or no answer. Do these emails constitute...
I guess this kind of leads to my question that I had the other day. Let's see if I could formulate it in my head simply. Would you sacrifice justice at the hand of capital interest, right? Would you prefer to see your 401ks rise over seeing justice being delivered? Or would you rather see justice delivered? Because that's what they're trying to say, is that if we serve justice to these elite capitalists, these corporatists, right? These people who are, part of legacy families and have millions upon billions of dollars. If we expose them, then the market's going to suffer. So you need to ask yourself, what's more important to you? Would you prefer to see justice delivered, or would you prefer to see capital interests be served? That's really one of the most important questions of this entire trial. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. He's totally alive. I mean, there's no reason why there should be people that are even defending the island still, right? There's security on the island itself. So why the fuck are there people there? You know, so I agree. He's totally alive. The story doesn't make sense. The story is a complete load of bullshit that they're trying to fucking force feed down our throats. So I completely agree with you. And that's why they're protecting so many people, right? I mean, because those people know too much, and they're going to continue to be avoidant. They're going to continue to deflect every single thing that we throw at them, every time that we try to hold them accountable. Oh yeah, man. I mean, come on, dude. It was like 2019, and we got this like slow, like frame bit by like frame by frame video of what happened, and it glitched out just so conveniently, right? There's like a glitch in the system to where we don't see him actually kill himself. This shit doesn't make sense, man. And they want us to believe it. It's like that one in George Orwell, right? In 1984, or maybe it's Animal Farm. Just a simple saying, man. Like, they'll try to turn the truth into a lie. The lies will eventually be like turned into facts, and then that's all we believe, right? I mean, they'll literally will forget about the fact that they erased the truth and only accept the lies that they fed us. So that's what they're trying to do, is just, if they say it enough times, right, then we'll believe him. We'll be like, oh yeah, I mean, the government's right. But, you know, people that are honestly all the time like, oh, the government wouldn't do that. Oh, the government wouldn't lie to us. Yes, the fuck they would. They do it all of the time, and they've been lying to us for like at least 80 years now. Everything post World War II, lies, 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 lies. That's all they do to us. They never, ever are forthcoming with information. We have to pressure them. And I said this in my last podcast, that capitalists will never do anything unless they're pressured. And it's the same thing with these politicians who have capital interest. Damn, that's crazy, dude. I mean, shit. I've seen videos of people that were also on vacation in in that area, right? In the Virgin Islands. And you know, they actually went up to the island and everything and got videos, and that shit's hella creepy, dude. That shit is scary as fuck. It just has this eerie feeling to it, man. And you know they have underground bunkers on there. That's known. So like, what the fuck is going on underground? Why are there still so many people protecting the island? Why are they so adamant about not just telling us who the fuck is guilty? Why can't we just get a clear list? Hey, these are the bad guys, and these are the people who actually weren't doing anything. Yes, their names are tied to him, but we can't find any information of them doing anything. They literally, both sides, right? It's Republicans and Democrats. Both are protecting people because it's protecting global interests. Like, this doesn't just like stop at America, right? I mean, this shit is it's dismantling other countries too in their political system, right? We have, I mean, in Britain, you know what I'm saying? I think it's the prime minister or whatever, or the main representative for the US is also in the files. So it's fucking up the fabric of that movement as well and their political sphere and all types of, you know, different places in the world. And that's why they're protecting so many people, because they don't want to fuck the fabric up of the world. I think Pam Bondi even said that if the Epstein files were to be redacted and everybody got the information, like the system would just dismantle itself, right? Almost every high-ranking person knows what happened. Fuck yeah, dude. 100% every high-ranking person knows what happened. I mean, I think that would be ignorant to think that any of these people don't know. I mean, a lot of these people have seen the unredacted files and they're still sitting there and they're not. I mean, dude, if it was me, I'd just go out of this person's guilty, this person's guilty, this person's guilty. Fuck if that gets me in trouble, man. Fuck if it costs me my job. People need to know the truth. They got to stop trying to hide it from us, man, because it's just making people mad. It's getting our blood boiling. It's pissing more people off by the day. You know what I'm saying? They claim to be the party of transparency. I don't feel like blacked out redactions are transparent. Do y'all? Is that very transparent? I mean, these motherfuckers, she literally said at the beginning of this video that she's the party of transparency, or this is the administration of transparency. Fucking bullshit. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Y'all are fucking just feeding us a bunch of bullshit.
Credible
That's
evidence,
the truth.
not proof, but credible evidence warning further investigation into whether Steve Tisch was involved in Epstein's criminal conduct. Do you think yes or no?
I'm not going to play a yes-no game with you, but I will answer the question to
I
the
can't
best of my
stand people
ability.
that just won't answer the
As
question.
I said, we will look and investigate any case involving any victim. I'm not familiar, there were 3 million pages, of course, with that email, but of course, we will look into anything. The documents have been released.
Just give a yes no answer. You know what I'm saying? Like I debate people like this all of the time. You know, I'll give them like a question, right? And it's a simple yes or no question, and then they'll go on, and it's like that filibustering bullshit that these motherfuckers like to do. They like to take you on a little journey, you know what I'm saying? And they circle back to this nothingness, and you don't ever get an answer. And people, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, cool. Like, it's these people are so weak. These motherfuckers who sit here and they question these people. We need people that are up there holding these motherfuckers accountable, not these old geezer ass motherfuckers that don't know how to fucking represent the youth, the generation that we're a part of and that want to see justice held. These old ass people, man, I'm sorry, like I can't stand people that sound like they're about to turn over, right? Because they just don't sound strong. They don't sound like they don't. There's no conviction, right? There's no authority there, you know. Like, and then you got somebody like this who's just walking on you, just walking. You know what I'm saying? And the Republicans, they're glorifying this bitch. You know what I'm saying? They're over here literally saying that, oh yeah, what a strong, you know, demonstration from Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, you know, blah, 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 God bless the Fourth Reich. You know, fucking bitches, man. I can't stand these people.
The redacted version.
I know y'all can't either.
Left them open for all of you to come view. Have you? I believe you view them. If not, will you have some comments?
Yeah, she knows what's going on,
please?
bro.
I'm not being rude.
I only
Seriously.
have 5 minutes.
No, yeah, and I only have 30 seconds based on your.
I mean, her hands are on the files, I think, probably more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I was doing a little bit of research about Bondi. Bondi, you know, she's just an attorney from Florida and everything. She really has like a mediocre career, you know, other than when she finally was introduced to Trump, I believe during his 2016 campaign. She did some work for him and everything, but where she really got like involved with the administration was during his impeachment trial, right? So like in 2020, 21, right? That's where like her and him really developed this relationship, because she protected his ass. She was able to cover up everything for Trump, right? She was literally able to like lead the team that defended his case and got him off. So of course he's gonna be like, hey, you know, you're like the queen of covering shit up. So I need you to put your hands on the file. I need you to clean this shit up because, you know, Dirty Donald over here, you know, I've been dipping my toes in a couple dirty pots. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker is nasty. We all know there's files out here saying that he's killed women, you know what I'm saying, thrown them in lakes, killed babies, you know what I'm saying, doing all kinds of shit. Bush over here eating children, photos of children like in between like food and all kinds of creepy weird shit. She went in there, bro. She cleaned it up and made him look nice. That's why we're not able to fucking find any weird ass emails from Trump at the moment. And I guarantee you that some of them are probably from some of those redacted emails, man. I guarantee you. There's no way, bro, that you just automatically distanced yourself from Epstein because of nothing. If anything, it was because he knew he wanted to go political, and he's like, fuck, I got to get away from the like Epstein and what he's doing to make myself look a little bit better. Right? I mean, that's just my theory. Who the fuck knows? I don't know everything.
Filibustering.
You didn't give a
belongs
yes
to
or
the
no
gentlelady from
answer,
California.
so let me just go further. Director Patel, bring credit to your department, and Mr. Chairman, I would yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
May I answer?
Attorney General can respond.
I find it interesting
Can I
that she's going
answer?
after President Trump,
Sounds like a
the
fucking
greatest
kid.
president in American history. And if they could maintain their composure, this isn't a circus, this is a hearing. I find it interesting she keeps going after Donald Trump. She doesn't say how much money she took from Reid Hoffman, did you? None. And nor did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
anything.
order, please.
She
Regular order.
posted nothing on her X account, on
Gentlelady.
her Twitter account during the Biden years.
Gentlelady.
And yet now, all of a sudden,
Question.
It's important for y'all to understand that both sides are corrupt as fuck, all right? Neither one is like not guilty. Democrats, Republicans alike are both involved with Jeffrey Epstein, and have both parties have individuals that have their hands dirty in these files, right? That's, y'all all need to know that this isn't a left versus right kind of situation. Like, straight the fuck up. There are dirty motherfuckers on both sides, and we need to hold both of them accountable. I don't give a fuck if you're Democrat. I don't give a fuck if you're a conservative Republican. Both sides, if you were involved in trafficking children, you need to be held accountable, and you need to go to fucking prison.
she's going after
Committee will be in
point of
order.
There was no
Committee will
question
be in
asked of
order.
the Attorney General.
Shame
She
on
doesn't
you,
just get
man.
to
Middle-
Shame on
Middle
you,
be in
Pam
order.
I have a
Bondi.
point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Committee will be in order.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlelady can state her point of order.
Shame on you for protecting
When a
pedophiles.
witness attacks,
Not a valid point of order. You got to state.
She hasn't completed her point of order yet. Please let her speak, Mr. Chairman. Let's have some regular order here.
Regular order is you got to state the rule. And she
I am
didn't do
trying.
Yeah, like I said, this fucking chairman, everybody, he ain't over here protecting any sexual assault victim at all. That's why he's like moderating this whole thing almost in a way to protect Bondi, right? Because he's also a Republican representative. Like I said, this motherfucker is literally being accused of being complacent to sexual assault happening to boys at OSU that were on the wrestling team because he was the assistant coach. So he's also a piece of shit.
I am trying to make a point of order that the witness,
And what rule are you referring to?
without responding to a question, has attacked me personally. I think it's pathetic that she can't answer the questions and
First
instead
time
is
that-
It's
attacked.
because she doesn't have an
Point
argument.
of order. The gentleman
Like I
from
said,
Whitfield-
anybody that just responds with contempt and insults doesn't really have an argument, and you've already won. She knows that she's wrong. She knows that she fucked up. She knows that what she did was unconstitutional and a horrible horrible display of what the attorney general should embody and should be doing, right? I think we can all agree on that. I mean, even Republicans right now are calling for Pam Bondi's head and want her to be impeached. I think more so than Kristi Noem at the moment. Yeah, you know, like the hate for Bondi is super high right now.
Pensions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they're encouraging local law enforcement to leave local law enforcement and go to work for ICE. We need people working in the front lines and local law enforcement to protect our citizens from the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst are not the immigrants. The worst of the worst, records show, are native-born Americans, and they are committing crimes that hurt our citizens and our cities. And
I say that all the time, chat. Last year, 23 deaths were a result of illegal immigrants being in this country. 23. And for the people that want to claim, oh, well, that was Trump. That was Trump cracking the fuck down. No. The year before, 29. You know the year before that, 29. So anytime that they're trying to inflate the numbers and make y'all feel like it's hundreds of thousands of deaths that are occurring from illegal immigrants, right? That's not the truth. Y'all need to know the statistics. And this is from the Border and Customs Enforcement website. This is official statistics from the government, okay? So y'all need to understand that that's less than one. That's not even a fraction of 1%. It's like 0.0000001% of crime and homicides that are attributed to illegal immigrants. 99% plus. I'm not even gonna get into the decimal percentage, right? Just know that 99% plus of crime committed in America are Americans hurting Americans. It's not immigrants, right? It's not this whole bullshit that they're trying to fucking feed us, right? This whole immigration war. And we'll get into that later. It's just like, is immigration the complete focal dividing point, like dividing focal point of our our administration right now? Because we're about to go into a partial shutdown due to DHS funding.
you're working against it, and thank you for that. But by trying to get our local law enforcement, where we have an undercount of officers in Memphis, to leave Memphis and go to work for ICE to deport people is a wrong priority. Why are we trying to get people, policemen who are working on the front lines, to leave the front lines, take the $50,000 and go to work for ICE and instead of working to fight the worst of the worst?
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on.
I'm telling y'all, man, I need to get that YouTube Premium.
Congressman, I have not yet seen that commercial, that ad. I would argue that we need strong people in both local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and all of our federal agencies working together. I've seen some of the worst violent criminals who were in this country illegally. We both know that.
But what about the violent criminals that are here in America? For those that don't know, just a little story. Just like 2 days ago, my friends, the representative who was running for governor in Minnesota, this is all happening, the Republican representative running for governor in the state of Minnesota, his daughter was murdered by her husband, stabbed to death. A Republican man, a Trump-endorsed Republican. The daughter, Republican. The son-in-law, Republican. Where is your outrage for that? There's nobody even speaking up about this woman. Nobody even gives a shit. He dropped out of the governor race because of it, but there's no coverage. Nobody gives a shit. Y'all have all this moral outrage for this small percentage of people who were killed by immigrants, but y'all have no outrage when it comes to your side, people who are a part of your party, representatives of your side, committing mass atrocity or crimes, or family members who commit those kinds of crimes. Y'all don't hold them accountable. They are also dangerous. Americans themselves are also dangerous. But the way that she's painting this picture, it's like, oh, well, immigrants are the only dangerous people here in America because Americans don't commit crime. And that's a load of bullshit. We're the most violent people on the entire planet. I mean, seriously, look at what we do across the planet.
And in Memphis,
People like
working
this, man.
hand
This
in hand,
fucking
I want
lady.
to stick with Memphis
killing
and your
me.
mayor and what you discussed.
Driving my
because
cortisol
there have been
levels
nearly
up
6,000
early in the day, man.
arrests as of February 8th, and I think you agree with this.
Nah, it's all good.
In your district, and almost 600 gang members.
Deflection.
What we found in Memphis, a lot of the gangs are local gangs.
Deflection.
But 600 gang members were taken
Let me
off
reclaim
the
my
streets.
time because I've only 40 seconds. I'm going to agree with you.
148, yeah.
I thank you for that.
And 148 missing children were recovered by all of us working together, and nearly one.
Again, we're talking about the children, man, but you know, she ain't protecting the children who were affected from the Epstein files, right? The survivors. She's over here protecting billionaires. She ain't protecting the children. She ain't protecting victims. Fucking crazy, man.
1,000 illegal guns were seized as a result of us working together.
Identities
These people
of
just
the
contradict themselves
Epstein
all day.
Victim survivors from the Epstein files prior to their release. 500, is that correct?
We need representatives that write down these people's like statements and hold them accountable whenever they fucking are being hypocritical, right? When they're being circular, whenever they're like literally contradicting their statements that they had said prior in the entire hearing. This is crazy. And say stuff like that.
I finished my answer. There were more than 500 attorneys.
It's America. There's no such thing as speaking out of term, all right, or speaking too freely.
That answers my question, ma'am, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on.
From
General Bondi, would you agree?
It is ridiculous, bitch.
General Bondi, would you agree that your 8 years of service as the state of Florida's Attorney
Can't stand
General,
her, bro.
third largest state in the nation, served as an excellent preparation for your current role as Attorney General for the United States of America?
Not only that, I was a career prosecutor.
I love the way that Jasmine Crockett ends up holding her accountable. I'll bring up that video in a minute because you know what? Bondi doesn't even have shit to say because she knows that Crockett, as a fellow lawyer, will grill your ass. And she did grill her ass. And Bondi just shut the fuck up, didn't say anything. Because that's what we need, are powerful women like that. Women that hold other women like this accountable, because there are evil women in this administration. And we need girls or women out there fighting like Jasmine Crockett. And that's why, like, bro, honestly, like, I think that she's probably going to be, like, the best choice as far as the Texas Senate race is going. Because she has this ability to not be so scripted. And you know what I'm saying? And hold people accountable when they need to be held accountable.
Prosecutor for
18 years. And for
18 years.
And for 18 years. For 18 years.
He asked a question and doesn't want an answer. This is theatrics.
Well, no. For 18
You're
years.
theatrical right now, lady.
Serious felony cases, including drug cases, correct?
Oh, I prosecuted homicides. I prosecuted capital cases. I prosecuted domestic violence cases. I prosecuted multiple cases, and that's why I feel for all of these victims. And did you ask Merrick Garland this when you were sitting before him, sir?
You also prosecuted sexual assault cases and child sex trafficking cases, correct?
I answered that question earlier. Okay. I prosecuted multiple cases.
So
when I was a prosecutor,
bottom line, you're an experienced and seasoned.
For 18 years.
Mr. Chairman, will you remind her of the rules? The time belongs to the member of the committee.
You are a seasoned and experienced prosecutor, correct?
Yes or no? Just say it.
Established that.
Just say yes or no.
Yes or no?
Does he want an answer or not?
He wants to say
I want a yes or no answer.
I exactly these people just yes or no.
I'll live with what you have.
Yes or no.
Let me ask you this question.
Clearly,
in the prosecution of sexual assault cases, you are acutely aware of how important it is to protect the identity of victims of sexual assault, correct?
You might think that they had to get a specialized degree that took 6 years.
Fucking ads, man. Capitalism, dude. Fuck. Just trying to talk about the news.
I have addressed this multiple times. I think others were cutting me off when I was trying to.
I just simply asked, are you aware of the fact that it's vitally important to protect the identity of sexual assault victims as you prosecute their the people they accuse of assaulting them. Isn't that correct?
Excuse me. As we have said multiple times,
Protection of the identity
of all victims
of the victims
are
is
protected.
so very
Who are
important.
protected under? Do you want me to answer, or do you want to interrupt?
Well, because you're not answering the question. You do a Jekyll and Hyde kind of routine around here, and I just want you to answer my questions.
What does Jekyll and Hyde mean? Can you explain
Well, it means
that?
you're nice to the
Explain
Republicans and you turn.
Of the prior
See, she's just
administration
filibustering, guys. She's
that
just
saw dangerous drugs
moving around and
criminal aliens
being
flood our
avoidant.
communities.
She's taking up too much time by like
President
giving
Trump
these
has
stories
worked
and wanting people to
tirelessly, as you
over-explain.
know,
Just
to
answer the
close
question.
Our border, which is what the Democrats had asked for in that video. President Trump closed our borders on day one. He is protecting Americans. He is protecting our kids from the influx of drugs that were flowing into this country from Mexico. The fentanyl precursors that were coming from China. These precursors were taken from China into Mexico. And in Mexico, they were mixed and freely taken right into our country, along with gang members, MS-13, TDA, freely coming into our cities around our country, thanks to Joe Biden's open border policies. That has stopped under Donald Trump. It will no longer happen under this administration, and he is doing everything to keep Americans safe. And let me continue. When he was elected overwhelmingly by the American people, the majority of the American people wanted Donald Trump. One of the main reasons was border security and keeping Americans safe. And that's exactly what he did. And that's why today the other side sits here, they yell, they cut me off, they want to yell, they want to ask a question and don't want answers because they want to distract from all the great things that this president and this administration working hand in hand, and that includes Secretary Noem, who has closed our borders, and Tom Bowman, who has closed our borders to keep Americans safe. And they're trying to distract.
By the way, everybody, chat, 14% of all people who were arrested last year were people who committed violent crimes. 14%. So what does that mean for the rest of the people who were subjected to violent and oppressive arrests by ICE, women who were sexually assaulted by ICE, people who were murdered by ICE inside of ICE detention? Do y'all not care about those people? Do you only care about American citizens? Do you not give a fuck about anybody else's life? Sorry. Y'all have so much moral outrage for other countries, right, and their people and what's going on over there, especially when they're suffering genocide or going through any type of atrocity. But you don't give a single fuck about the people who are living in your country and are being victimized, who are being hunted like dogs. You don't give a single shit. That's crazy to me. You only give a fuck when it's American lives, right? When two Americans die, but you don't give a fuck about the fact that there's 30 to 40 to 50 people. I don't even know what the number is. It's up there, bro. It's like 30 to 50 people have died in ICE custody, right? More people have died in ICE custody last year than people that had committed violent crimes, who had committed homicide. The most violent of crimes, right? Oh, man. Yeah, man, I don't even know. There's so much more to unpack with this, but I only have so much time today. I'm only going to be able to get online for like 30 more minutes because my wife needs to get picked up from class. It's our anniversary today, so we're going to go do some stuff. I don't want to spend my whole day having to do this, but there's some pretty important things to cover. We might go through a partial shutdown. Partial shutdown is going to affect things like DHS, TSA, you know what I'm saying? FEMA, I believe, anything that has to do with the Department of Homeland Security, any agency that falls under that branch. Democrats basically want more constraints on ICE, right? They want no more masks, right? A little bit more rules and regulations on what kind of requirements must be met for an ICE agent to even pursue an American. Stuff of that nature, right? Because especially in the wake of the two deaths, the Democrats don't want to they don't want to concede and do another extension of funding, because that's more or less what happened a week or two ago, is they just gave an extension. So this shutdown will only affect anything within the DHS branch of the government. So Republicans are like, no, we don't want that. They feel as if that's putting like handcuffs on agents in the field. They don't want any restrictions put on ICE, and essentially want like a blank check, right? They want Democrats to put no types of rules and regulations on them, and that's the only thing that they're willing to accept. So we might go through a partial shutdown because the Democrats, like I said, don't want to concede to another extension. So let's watch this dumbass speak on yesterday. Who knows what they'll do today, man. So hopefully they get something figured out. I don't know, man. It'd be nice if they could go ahead and just agree to the fact that, hey, no more ICE agents can wear masks.
Happy Thursday.
Let's put more rules and restraints on ICE agents hurting and killing Americans. Let's hold them accountable, right? Let's hold these people accountable. No more masked men in the street. That's all that they're asking. It's not really like a radical request. Anyway, let's get through these videos before I gotta
get my notes.
Literally what, 10?
Okay. So as you all know, from day one I've said unless there are really strong, meaningful reforms to rein in ICE and stop the violence, there will not be Democratic votes to fund ICE and
I can't
extend
stand
the
this
awful
guy.
status quo
Sorry.
that now exists.
He concedes too
Well,
much
today,
to the
Senate
right.
Democrats made that point absolutely clear. For weeks, we've been pushing common sense reforms, the very types of things that local police and sheriffs throughout America routinely follow.
Right. How would y'all feel if every cop that pulls you over when you simply run a red light or you pass a stop sign or you roll through it, right, was masked, right, and utilizing the tactics of ICE that we see in all of these videos? Would that make y'all feel uncomfortable? Would you feel safe? I wouldn't. Fuck, that shit would scare the shit out of me.
Today's strongest vote, today's strong vote was a shot across the bow to Republicans. Democrats will not support a blank check for chaos.
Like we're asking the world of them.
This vote today asked a simple question. Will you rein in ICE's abuses, or will you vote to extend the chaos? Republicans chose chaos, and the Democrats, we refused. Republicans chose to put a bill on the floor that ignored the abuses, ignored the outrage, ignored what the American people want overwhelmingly. And they failed to get the votes to avoid a shutdown at DHS. As we've said for weeks, if Republicans want to keep DHS...
I think they need 60 votes to pass. I think that means like 7 Democrats need to like fold in order for the bill to pass. So we'll see what happens today, man.
They need to get serious.
I don't know if there's any updates on it. Let's see.
They need to sit down. They need to negotiate in good faith. Produce legislation that actually reins in ICE and stops the violence. And I'm proud of my caucus. Senate Democrats listened to the American people and stood together with one clear, strong voice. Enough is enough. We listened to the American people and stood together with that clear voice. The American people are tired. They're tired of seeing these horrific videos. They turn your stomach. And 90% of Americans say they've seen them. The videos of Americans beaten, snatched off the streets, treated like they have no rights. These videos are reminiscent of what you see in dictatorships. The Americans are tired of masked agents conducting warrantless operations in their communities, secret police. They're tired of chaos, secrecy, and zero accountability. That is not what law and order looks like. And Republicans simply cannot pretend that this outrage does not exist. It's their responsibility now to step forward, heed the calls of the American people, and work with us to pass real reform. The path forward is simple. Negotiate serious guardrails that protect Americans, that rein in ICE, and stop the violence. Americans are watching what's happened in neighborhood after neighborhood across the country. They know it's wrong, they know it's excessive, and they want Congress, the Senate, to fix it. Senate Democrats showed up today for Americans. We did what they're asking. We did our job today. Now, Republicans have to do theirs. And as you know, we have asked for very simple objectives that is overwhelmingly supported by the American people.
It's like three
and by
things,
a very
man.
good chunk of Republicans.
What did
I
I
looked
say?
at the polling data. While the MAGA Republicans don't support it, they must like what I
Yeah, look at that. They want to end the roving patrols, enforce accountability, and mask off, body cameras on. That doesn't seem to me like a radical request. That seems very, very simple. Just 3 little rules. We're asking for 3 little things, and we'll pass your fucking funding bill. We'll give it to you. We'll give you your money, right? To do whatever you need. But just do these 3 things, please. And they can't even do that. They refuse to work with the other side. Democracy cannot work if both sides are not willing to concede a little bit and do a little bit of give and take. Even the founding fathers, they didn't agree on everything. They knew that it took some give and take, that it took a lot of debate. And these motherfuckers, bro, they just don't even want to concede. They don't want to give a little, man. They really don't.
is doing. Lord knows why.
Why?
Non-MAGA Republicans, about 35-40% of Republicans support us. The public is crying out for change. Ready
Right.
for questions? Yes.
Is there anything in what the White House sent over that you can find common ground on? And also, what kind of message does it send to you that the White House is willing to engage on the policy?
Well, look, first, I'm not going to negotiate in public and get into the details. But second, their proposal is not serious. Plain and simple. It's very far apart from what we need.
But what's unserious?
Yes, I said I'm not negotiating in public.
What is in the White House proposal?
Again, I'm not negotiating in public. You can ask them. They sent it to
Told
us
you, I
privately.
cannot stand
Yes.
this motherfucker, dude. Just answer the question too, bro. Chuck Schumer is such a fucking cuck, bro. He's like, oh, we will not discuss it. Bro, if you're going to represent the Democratic Party and say that we're representing the people are crying out, then fucking give the people the answers that they want. Give us the information. But you're like, no, I'm not going to discuss that. I'm not going to give out that information. Fucking cuck. Fuck you. Cuck Chuck Schumer.
DHS would take out funding for ICE and CBP.
Chuck
the
the
way
cuck.
to do this, it's very simple. We should fund the whole package.
Chuck the
All
cuck
Republicans
Schwarmer.
have to do is meet our requests
Shouldn't even be
here
giving this dude
and
any
negotiate in
fucking
a serious way,
attention,
and we can pass the
fucking
whole
clown.
Yes.
Leader Schumer, what's your message to federal workers who now are not certain at TSA, Coast Guard, FEMA, when they're going to get a paycheck next or be able to call into work?
Talk to the Republicans, okay? We're ready to fund everything. We're ready to have good, serious proposals supported by the American people.
Just not
They're
strong enough. I
They're
told
sort of-
y'all, we need somebody who's just gonna speak for the Democrats. If they're gonna speak for the left, period, we need somebody who is clear, concise, not old. Somebody who represents the youth, who has vigor, right? Who has charisma, who seems like a strong leader, and that's what we lack. Is these old fuckers, man? I'm tired of them, dude. They don't embody the kind of American representatives that we need here in this
dug
country
in the
at the
ground,
moment.
and
They
they're
really
not moving
don't.
forward. Yes.
Tired of them.
Why risk, as you said, Coast Guard,
Let's
all
see.
that, when Republicans have already pre-funded ICE to $75 billion. ICE is still going to be going.
Ask the Republicans, okay? And go look at the funding streams that are available for other areas as well. But just ask the Republicans. They're the ones holding this up. We're on the side of the
All right.
American people.
They are.
We showed today overwhelmingly. I think the Republicans thought, I think they were surprised until yesterday that we would have a strong, unified vote. And our caucus is passionate about this. If you sat in our caucus meetings, you'd see how strongly people feel. And you know who are among the strongest? Some of the very people who didn't vote with us last time. You've heard them. They've put out their statements. Yes.
Senator Schumer, can you say with whom you're negotiating with at the White House? And is Stephen Miller involved in these talks? Given his
Fuck Stephen Miller.
Look, we're negotiating
Nazi.
with the White House legislative people, and they bring in other people in. Yes.
You guys have a proposal or a counter proposal coming this weekend. How do you see the next week and a half going when you guys are on recess?
Well,
Are you
again,
sticking around?
Well, look, every one of the people negotiating on our side will be available 24/7 to go forward. But what we're waiting for is, again, the White House to get serious and the Republicans to get serious. For whatever reason, they are stuck in a position that is not serious, will not end the violence, and will not rein in ICE. And again, ask them, just ask them, why are they opposed to simple things like no roving patrol, like ending the roving patrols? Warrants, you ever hear of that? The Americans are for warrants. Across the board, the average American knows you don't knock on a door and go into a house without a warrant.
We're just asking
Are they against accountability?
For the Gestapo methodology to stop. That's all we're asking, is that you stop taking stop taking from the playbook that is the Third Reich. Please. We do not want the Fourth Reich here in America. Please, Führer Trump. We don't want that. Please. We beg of you. No dictatorships. We're tired of the authoritarianism here in the country.
Where somebody in some outside group has an ability to look and see if there's been abuses, and ICE is a terribly abusive force. You've all seen it.
They are.
Are they against masks being off and people not having identity?
They have no integrity.
Why are they so adamant in a position that is so against the Constitution and against what the American people, even a vast chunk of Republicans, are demanding now? It's hard to figure out. Yes.
The House, as you know, has already canceled Kodell's delegation. Is it appropriate that Senate Democrats are still planning on going, just in case there is a deal, they would not be able to come?
Let me tell you, everyone will be available. Anytime, if we break the barrier of Republicans not negotiating seriously, and we can come to an agreement that is serious and, as I said, that reins in ICE and that ends the violence, everyone will be back. Everyone. And they said that at our call.
I mean, they're trying to say that the Democrats are the ones that are holding up the funding, but I think that it's the Republicans. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not right nor am I left. I think both of them have fucking idiots that are representing those values, but Republicans can't concede to just 3 simple requests. They're the ones that are holding up the funding. They're the ones at fault here, you know? And I feel like my question is, man, is just like, is immigration just like a permanent pressure point now that holds up federal budgeting? It's just kind of fucking ridiculous and stupid, bro. Like how much pressure they put onto these kind of this topic. And it's because it's what makes the administration look strong, right? I mean, that's the entire backbone of their ideology, is being hard on immigration, right? Oh, man, dude. I don't know, bro. These people, they really piss me off. Anyways, I don't got a lot of time left, man, and I really wanted to touch on one more topic if I can before I get out of here, man. I wish I had a little bit longer to stream today, but hey, man, it is what it is. Just for those that don't know, we had a very important EPA regulation overturned recently. So I'm just going to put up a video about it. It's going to basically overturn one of the most important findings of, I would say, the 2000s of our century so far, in the past 3 decades, that essentially says that greenhouse gases are dangerous and are contributing to global warming. So they are going to revert that shit. They already did. And that'll essentially lift all of the barriers and regulations that companies, manufacturers currently have to abide by, and essentially gives the EPA no more authority over these regulations. Is essentially what it will do. So the people that are going to really profit from these kinds of things, yes, maybe some vehicle manufacturers, but majority of it's going to be the oil oligarchs, man. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? The oil industry are definitely going to make a lot more money because of these regulations being lifted. These are not regulations that are being overturned at the benefit of me and you. It's at the benefit of profits for oil capitalists. And that's it. And that's all it's for. It does not help us at all. And those that don't know, countries like Europe and China are increasing their restrictions and regulations on gas powered vehicles right now. And if the country is to backtrack on the current regulations that we have put onto our vehicles, then our cars will no longer be able to be sold in these countries without high tariffs. It'll hurt the auto industry because we won't even be able, it'll bar us out from markets in Europe and in China or in Asian countries, because we won't be able to follow the regulations, that they'll have to do many modifications onto the cars to regulate it enough to be able to operate onto the streets. So anyways, let's kind of dive into all of this. Like I said, I don't really have a lot of time. Here, let's go with a shorter video. I really don't have too much time today. I was gonna watch his whole thing.
We're Charity Water.
That might be boring.
If we lost you at Charity, we get it. Give us a moment to change your mind.
Meanwhile, President Trump and the EPA are walking back a landmark environmental decision to regulate greenhouse gas emissions and fight climate change. The endangerment finding served as the scientific and legal foundation for federal regulation.
Determines that 6 greenhouse gases endanger both the public health and public welfare of current and future generations. Things like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, and sulfur hexafluoride. So those all sound pretty toxic to me. I mean, shit, those don't sound like I should be just huffing that shit, for no reason.
Of 6 greenhouse gases for more than 16 years. Well, now the president is dismissing concerns about public health and the environment, calling the finding a, quote, giant scam.
These dudes have no idea what they're fucking doing.
Endangerment finding, a disastrous Obama-era policy that severely damaged the American auto industry and massively drove up prices for American consumers because it has nothing to do with public health. This was all a scam, a giant scam.
You heard the president there calling it a giant scam. For more, we want to bring in Professor of Environmental Law at Columbia Law School, Michael Gerard. Michael, thank you so much for being here. First, I want to get your reaction to the president just now calling the endangerment finding a giant scam.
It's quite the opposite. When the endangerment finding was issued in 2009, there was a ton of evidence about the negative effects of greenhouse gases. There are now 10 tons of evidence.
Michael, the president and EPA administrator leads
these motherfuckers don't give a shit about evidence, man. They don't care about the facts.
In U.S. history. So what impacts would the repeal, or will the repeal, have on the environment and climate change?
Well, it means that the federal government will no longer be able to use the Clean Air Act, the chief law here, to regulate greenhouse gases. We know that greenhouse gases are having very bad effects already, and it'll get a lot worse as the climate, as the planet continues to warm.
And we know that there are health risks, and we're seeing the carbon dioxide trends. Our chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, talked about this as well. But I want to talk about implications for everyday people, right? We know that Black and brown communities and underprivileged communities face a disproportionate risk of climate change. Does this risk now increase with these protections being rolled back?
It absolutely does. And although carbon dioxide doesn't have local health impacts, the sources of carbon dioxide release other kinds of chemicals that are killing a lot of people. So it will really have a very negative impact.
Like, this shit contributes to like the rising cancer rates that we're having. Like, this shit is horrible for us. Like, the fact that we're literally just denying the fact that this is harmful to not just us or the environment is ridiculous. We absolutely needed this type of regulation, and we're going to dismantle the entire fabric of it right now. We're going to have, because this is going through, we're going, if it ever does, if we ever try to regulate it again, we're going to have to start from scratch. Everything that we've done over the course of the last 15 years just goes like out the window. No longer is it something that we can use. These people, man, it's just a bunch of corporate billionaires that want to make more money and have more tax cuts and save more, just save more. I mean, at the cost of fucking our planet. at the cost of like hurting us. Like, I'm not saying that we need to like, oh, like super regulate this and do that. But like, we can make it favorable to where you still make money, but not so much so that you're going to destroy the planet for the fucking profit. Like, there's going to be no planet left at the end of the day because you motherfuckers don't give a shit about regulating certain industries, because regulation is needed so we don't go into this state of panic, of crisis, right? These people
And
are
as
literally,
you say, poor people are most affected by climate change itself.
they're hurting the
Right, we've
future
seen that
generations,
research,
man.
year after year. Trump also says this decision will be good for the country and save Americans trillions of dollars. Well, at a time where we know that people are struggling with affordability, curious, Michael, why should they be worried about long-term effects of climate change?
Well, but that statement by the president is false, that having a car that is energy efficient, that is fuel efficient, costs a lot less to operate. You're spending a lot less money on gasoline. So although the upfront cost may be a little bit higher, over the life of the car, you're saving a lot of money by having a more fuel efficient car. But there will be fewer of these under this new announcement.
It sure sounds like it. And environmental groups, Michael, are expected to sue to block this move. How do you see that playing out?
Yes, I think that very quickly we'll see a number of lawsuits filed in the U.S. Court of Appeals in D.C., but this will probably end up in the Supreme Court, and we'll see how that turns out.
And we certainly will. Marco Gerard, thank you so much for weighing in on this.
Thank you.
I found myself at a time in my career where I knew I needed to finish my education. I chose Purdue Global because the faculty understood.
I'm telling you guys, I don't know. These people, like, there's no science. They don't even give a fuck about science. They don't give a fuck about the facts. They don't give a fuck about the research. They don't care about any of those things. And I don't understand how we allowed all of these corporate billionaires to get into politics, and now they're creating policy that is detrimental to us as a people, as a society, as a world. This is ridiculous. At the cost of $1? Is it worth it? I swear, man. The Fourth Reich, it's they're not looking out for us, man. They're only protecting capital interest. I mean, this probably will turn into one of the biggest court cases of the decade, man, because I predict there's gonna be a lot of challenges to this. There's already a whole bunch of people that are upset about it. Like, there's a lot of backlash at the moment going around, especially from environmental conservatives and everything. But yeah, man, I wish I had more time today because I have so much to say. I have so many more things to comment on, and I wish I could have dived into these topics a little bit more. I'm over here, I'm like, oh God, I gotta wrap it up. It's already 3:23. This is kind of a shorter episode than I was expecting. On Fridays, I normally will try to do a little bit of a longer one. I had some errands to run before I actually got online today, so didn't mean to get online at 2. Wanted to get online at like 1, maybe 12:30. So going forward, next week, on Mondays and Fridays, man, I think we're gonna shoot for a 12:30 episode. If we can, I'll post on my story on Instagram. I guess the schedule for next week. I'm gonna try to get this rounded out a little bit better because I was reading that, like, on Twitch, having a schedule is important. The algorithm really relies on people who are predictable, right, or are constantly getting on. So yeah, man. Yeah, let me see here. Let me pull out this screen here. The screen. And but yeah, man, I enjoyed talking with you guys today, man. Giving you guys the facts, informing you people on the news, man. This is what I'm going to try to do a little bit more, now that I've got a couple episodes in, I'm starting to figure out how I want this to be structured. So, you know, appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. Appreciate y'all chatting. You know, and until next time, man, you know, stay informed. Don't be complacent. Keep your head out the sand, man. And remember to always beg the question. This was Arispe on America, man. I'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate y'all.